Hi, welcome to Cruizin. I'm Murray Reynolds. Last week, thought you might like that one, but we were just taking up where we left off last week on the show. Don't blame me, I had nothing to do with it whatsoever, but unfortunately we didn't get right through that story at JR Auto Restorations, so we'll re-bring you that story tonight. I've been laid up with the flu for the last almost fortnight now, and even putting last week's show together was a bit of a struggle. So we haven't had time to get out there. As a guy that just likes getting out there and cruising, and puts together a run just as a casual run for anybody that wants to go along. That happened this Sunday, left in the Causeway car park. We'll start from there and go and have a look. Okay, Craig, the cruise itself couldn't ask for better weather?
Oh yeah, it was perfect. We'd organised that though.
All requested, was it?
Yeah, that's right. I sent him a fax, so...
Can you give me the fax number?
No, I've lost it actually. I don't know where it is now.
Now, as far as the turnout goes, how many cars did we end up with, do you know?
Well, we ran out of maps at about 100, well, we sold 110 maps, and I'd say there'd be another 20 cars at least, so 130 conservatively. And
you couldn't ask for a more diverse range of cars?
Oh no, it was great. We had a lot of different cars this time than what we had last time, so yeah, there's new people coming. Sort of each run we seem to get new people every time, so it's quite good.
And even a Rolls Royce amongst them?
Yeah, they turned up. They were friends of the Austin shear line, so they were on the first run. So yeah, but they reckon the Austin's better than the Rolls. Yeah,
rod numbers were down a bit on the last one, I think they weren't they?
Yeah, I think it was a bit cold for them now. Anybody without a roof, it's starting to get a bit chilly.
And I know just Cruizin Street Machine Club and Perth Street Machine Club, they had another event on for the day. But we did end up with, as I say, quite a few street machines and that out there as well.
Yeah, that's right. We had a pretty good turnout from the Tirana Club. I saw a few of those guys there. Yeah, it just seemed to be a fair few street machines, so it was just lucky that we had a good day, I think, good weather. And
the cruise, as I say, left from the Causeway car park. It was an ideal venue. You had that probably 2/3 full, I'd say.
Yeah. The only problem we're going to have now is trying to find car parks big enough to to fit all the cars in. That's the problem.
And I noticed we went out past that bell tower that everybody wants.
Yeah, there was a lot of abuse yelled out there, but I had nothing to do with that.
And the tunnel, I didn't actually get any footage there with the tunnel itself. Of course, we're not allowed to stop for film work there. But I heard a few reports from various people that going through the tunnel was quite experienced with all those cars together.
Yeah, they reckon it was rather loud. We missed out on the tunnel as well because we forgot the raffle tickets, so we had to race home and pick them up before we went out to the end of the run. So we didn't get to see all the rods going through the tunnel either, but yeah, apparently it was quite loud. And
then we pulled up at the Supermodel Sunday. I know a lot of them went in and had a look at the models on display.
Yeah, that was quite good actually. Just give everybody something different to look at, and all the kids were looking at the slot car track next door and having a bit of a go on that. So no, it was quite good.
I know Steve Collegia at 2 Home Racing there, he actually said he didn't think he'd ever had so many people through in the one day with having the model show on and the cruise stopping in. He was overwhelmed.
Yeah, well, again, like parking's starting to get hard, when you've got to start parking around the corner and up the street and things like that. It's, when you've got sort of 150 cars, it's getting hard to find a place to fit them all.
Yeah, unfortunately, being a weekend, there's all the factory complexes around the club rooms that...
yeah, well, luckily no one was doing any overtime, so that was all right, yeah.
And feedback from the people that were on the run itself?
Well, I haven't been abused yet, so it's that's a good start. But no, everybody seems to have a good time, and yeah, we'll do another one. So, but if anybody knows of a venue that will, like Perry Lakes, that'll hold about 150 cars, give me a yell, because we're sort of scratching our heads trying to figure out where to go next.
And people can always get hold of me anyway. My number's always up on the screen.
Yeah, that's right. It's probably better off to get in touch with you, and then
and
my number.
So I know I had a lot of calls prior to the event wanting to know about it and so forth. But you are the organiser, and it's something you do purely because you love cruising.
Well, that's right. It's just an excuse to get out and drive the cars. That's what we build them for. So we should just get out in groups and go cruising.
I know there's a lot of quite notable sort of street vehicles out there that I hadn't seen before, but it's not just restricted to a showy type car. You can get out there in anything.
Well, you've seen my car and my last two cars, so yeah, it's definitely not restricted to show cars. I prefer the street-driven cars anyway, so...
Yeah, as I say, it created a great day. I had to stop, unfortunately, and carry on with the Supermodel Car Sunday. I say unfortunately because I would have liked to have got to Perry Lakes, but being crook and with what I had to do there as well. I was just absolutely knackered by the time I'd got through at the Supermodel Sunday.
Yeah, no, it was great, and thanks to everybody for sort of behaving themselves. There was no real dramas, so that way I don't get into trouble. But yeah, it was great, and just keep watching Cruizin for the details on the next one.
And like I say, with any of those runs, the driving habits, they reflect on whether there's more that can happen, because you get a bad name with the authorities, well, it's pretty hard to stage a run in it.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, we all like to go a little bit fast and things like that, but you've got to be careful because, yeah, it's, you know, you get 150 cars all in one group and you get a few people doing burnouts and things like that, and it does reflect on the organisers, and then it gets to the stage where you just can't run them anymore because you can't risk the hassle, so...
Okay, Craig, on behalf of everyone that went there, thanks for organising it and putting together another great day.
No worries. Thank you.
After the break,